First to Lindsey Huddleston.
Hey, Malik, good to see you. Unfortunately, this is a unfortunate date in basketball history. A year ago today, the world tragically lost Kobe Bryant. Just curious to know, as a mentally focused player, what kind of impact he may have had on your game, or what did you think about when you heard the news of him passing a year ago?
For me, it was actually a pretty big deal. I actually grew up an hour outside of LA. I was there for about maybe 10 years. So me and my dad would always watch the Lakers games, and that was a big deal if you were in California at the time. And I remember after the game hearing that and just like texting my mom and like texting some of my friends, and like we were all just kind of in disbelief.
Wow. Okay. Thanks for sharing that.
And then we'll go next to Sam Tyler from the Only Colors.
Malik, you're a very consistent player this year for the team, one of the most consistent on the team, really. And coming out of this long break, do you view part of your job as trying to impart some of that sort of mental consistency, and that sort of, is that a leadership role for you a little bit?
Um, Definitely something I'm working on. Just I think everybody on the team honestly has been doing a really great job. Like we've had this many days off, and just trying to make sure that we come back into the season with a great attitude and we're all ready to play and ready for every game because they're going to start coming really fast.
We'll go next to Chris Solari.
Like, can you kind of walk us through the last 3 weeks? I mean, starting with getting ready to go to Iowa and then everything that's transpired since, I guess, what has been that up and down nature that you guys have kind of battled, and how have you kind of handled that in terms of not necessarily the virus itself, but the uncertainty that comes with it?
I think it was all just really weird. When we first found out on our way to when we were about to leave before Iowa, it was kind of like something surreal. Like we'd seen it happen to other teams across the country, and then it had happened to us, and for us it was just like a couple of days off, and then we came back, and coach was just talking about same thing that I just answered in the last question. Just like be ready for whenever your next game is, and make sure that you're mentally prepared because we are still in season.
Go next to Jim Comparoni.
Hey, Malik, thanks for joining us today. Hey, you're the most versatile of the front court players, and you've played some wing a little bit in the past, I think, with Gabe Brown out and Josh Langford questionable. Can I ask if you've been working out a little bit at the three? Is that part of what you might be doing this week, and how do you feel about that? If you can't answer that for scouting reasons, I understand, but I just thought I'd ask.
I wasn't told anything about scouting reasons or anything like that, but it's something that I've been working on in practice with people missing and people's conditioning not going to be at the same as it was, But that's something I've been doing all year for the most part. I've been working on several positions just because we like to do a lot of different lineups.
How do you feel about playing on the wing and mixing that in? The plays are a lot different from wing to front court. You feel like you're ready for that if you have to do that? And is that something that excites you, or just a necessity, or how do you feel about it?
It's definitely exciting for me. I've kind of always wanted to have a little bit more on my plate, and coaches kind of giving me that chance to be able to prove that I can be amongst the wing players while still being a forward and, show my versatility to even higher value. So I'm definitely excited about it.
Hey, one other thing, Tom Izzo said he was excited a week or so ago about conducting one-on-one workouts himself, something he says he doesn't do very often, but had to this time. He said he enjoyed it. Did you get a chance to do one-on-one workouts with him? What was that like? What was that like?
It was definitely interesting because coaches, like when we do individuals, he's never really down there. So like having him down there, he definitely pushed us really, really hard, and it was fun, honestly. Like it was a great workout.
All right, great. Thanks a lot.
Mm.
We'll go last question to Stephen Brooks.
Hey, Malik. I just asked Joey the same thing. I'm just wondering, when you guys have had the layoff that you have, now jumping back into a real game, of course, what's sort of the most important thing as a team-wide you guys have to focus on? You're probably not going to be 100% sharp right away, but to try to get to that, to try to not be rusty and all of that, what do you have to focus on yesterday, today, the next day in practice to try and come out and sort of hit the ground running, I guess, as best you can?
I definitely believe it's all a mental aspect. Like, we all know we're not going to be 100% perfect when we get back out there, and there'll be people missing shots, and game conditioning will definitely be a little bit different than practices. But if we're mentally prepared and mentally willing to fight for the game and come out with our best effort, then I think it'll be good for us.
Thank you.
All right, Malik, that's all we have. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. We appreciate you taking the time.
Yep.
All right, thanks, everyone.